What's up, guys? Mav here from NerdsNCoffee.com. Episode 28, Nerdcast. With me again, Kage, Rowan of Decryption. Say what's up, guys.
Howdy.
And as always, until we actually get our new song for our podcast show, this is Buffalo with their 8-bit song called Powerlifter. Once again, 8-bit music didn't really catch on, but this song is amazing. So, we have a lot to talk about this week, huh, guys? I mean, Xbox One, MYO, LeapMotion.
Yeah.
We got
interesting stuff coming out.
Interesting stuff. So let's get into it. Real quick update on the YouTube channel. We are gaining subscribers slowly but surely, not as fast as I would like, but pretty good. We're actually going to be updating, guys, real quick. I want to go into it. Black Widow Tournament Edition raffle is being pushed back 1 week to allow more people to get in on this giveaway. And that's simply all I can say. A YouTube video will be posted regarding that. So let's see. What's next? There's a website. Xbox One. What did you guys think? What did you guys think about the reveal? I mean,
it's alright.
Another Xbox.
Yeah, it's another console.
I am disappointed.
Why are you disappointed, Kage?
I was, for the longest time, one of the biggest proponents for Xbox. I used to, when I worked at GameStop, I was always had my Xbox lanyard. People were like, "I'm thinking between the PS3 and the Xbox." Well, how about the Xbox? Like, it was always Xbox. I was that Xbox guy. But the way this one is looking, sir, it's just, I'm just not liking what I'm seeing. It wasn't just because the presentation was on social media and like almost no games. I understand that E3 is like in 2 weeks. And so they wanted to save a lot of the game content for that. But just looking at it, just the things that are coming out about it, like, it's such, they're pushing TV so much to gamers and such. And I don't see, a lot of gamers I've talked to, it's like, I don't really watch TV. It's not an interest to them. Also, like, pre-owned games. Like, if I have a game, you have a game, we want to, especially with the way the market is, people don't have a lot of money. So it's like, I'll buy this, you buy this one, when we're done, we'll trade, you know? I'll let you use this one. But with the way they're working now, is that if you get it, if you let a friend use it, they have to pay a fee, and that fee is the same price as buying the game new. So you might as well just not let them borrow it. Just tell them to buy it off Xbox Live and buy it. And the thing that
what's the fee?
Did we find out? Yeah, the fee is the exact same price as the new game.
Exact same price as the new game.
Exact same price. There's no.
Yeah, I think it doesn't make any sense. I think if the game goes down in price, like, it says $60, it's $50 now, I think you only pay the $50, but you can't buy like a $5 used game when it's $20 in stores now.
Right. Another issue is, and I don't see how they can do this, but any game you buy will have to be activated online. So those people that don't have internet, they've literally just said, "Sorry, this console's not for you." So that's just so many people. They're pushing towards Xbox, or pushing towards the PS4, or pushing towards the Wii U, and that is a giant market that they're just shrugging their shoulders at. Like,
so let me ask you a question. You don't think you're going to be able to, like, say, have your local GameStop say, "Hey, can you activate this game for me before I go home"?
No, it has to be activated on your account, on Xbox Live, on your console.
So you can go to, like, say they have a console in the GameStop just for activating. So you log onto your own account, load the game, activate it, and you can take it home. Since it's all cloud-based, you couldn't do that now.
Let me ask you a question, and this is a side question. How many people do you think will be buying a new Xbox One that doesn't have internet?
Actually, I know quite a few people who were early adopters for the Xbox 360 and for PS4 that don't, or PS3 that didn't have internet. I know people now who don't have internet. Like, they're gamers, they just don't have internet. And so, I mean, it's still going to be a popular. I mean, I mean, it's not large. It's probably like 5% at most, kind of thing. Like it's small. It's a small group, but it's still.
I honestly don't think it's that much, man. I think it's a much more like maybe 1 to 2% of the actual people who are going to purchase an Xbox either which way are going to be without internet. And even at that, I think there's going to be some kind of alternative that Xbox will allow for. I don't, maybe right now that's the gist, but when it comes out, I think that's going to be different. Now, when you talk about being disappointed regarding, not being geared towards gamer and being geared towards being connected and more towards the TV portion of the whole deal. Um, wouldn't we expect more gaming stuff to come out during E3, which is, I'm pretty sure that's where Xbox and PlayStation are going to go nuts with their content.
Although at the same time, it's like even with E3 around the corner, like what, like 3 weeks ago, PS3 or PlayStation had theirs, and it was still like major social networking, but they showed gaming. It was like maybe 60% social networking, 40% gaming. The Microsoft one was 90% social networking and 10% gaming, and that they still should have shown more. They're still going to disappoint their main constituents, which are gamers. Even if they're trying to target more things now, it's still those gamers are their main constituents, and they were not happy.
I I
I mean,
disagree.
it's personal. It's personal. But go.
I only disagree for the fact is that, after reading some reports regarding the normal user of an Xbox, it wasn't even a gamer anymore. It wasn't the gamer that was the person that was using an Xbox. It was the person that wanted to have a gaming console, but to also have, access to Microsoft's music, Microsoft videos, also have their Netflix, their Hulu, like all the other stuff included in one, and being able to add in Skype, to add in what's the new one, the cable box. That to me, that I mean, honestly, being I watch TV, so that was amazing. That I even told my girlfriend about having, your cable box hooked, and she goes, "Oh my God, that'd be great for the simple fact that we're not, switching inputs every 5 seconds just to go between the two devices."
I
Um,
knew. Go ahead.
and that was my biggest part. I mean, I think the Xbox reveal was geared to the person that wasn't a gamer. Was geared to the person saying, "Hey, there's gaming, but we also will do all of this other stuff for you and make this your one single device in your home that you would really have to worry about buying, because the cable box comes for free, but you get this Xbox and you do everything else that you need to do with it. It's your media hub, which, the whole name, Xbox One revolves around being the one device, you know, in your entertainment center." Um, on the other hand, I actually really liked the launch. From a consumer standpoint, um, being that I'm a big proponent of Skype itself because my kids live abroad. They live in Japan. Two of my kids live in Japan, and having the TV be my Skype connectivity, and knowing that Xbox is going to provide that solid network, that you're going to have a clean, crisp, video call through Skype. Well, Skype's owned by Microsoft now, but through Skype, which is that's for me is pretty amazing. That right there alone brings us into, I know it's been around for a few years. You can do Skype from your TV, but this is now going to be the Skype that's going to be the cleanest, the nicest app out there. Um, and that's just the way Microsoft does everything, or at least through Xbox. That's the way they've done everything. So that brings us into the whole like day and age where, like, if you see behind me, guys, on the actual screen, you see the new Star Trek 2 screen cap with Skype on there, and showing Spock and Captain Kirk. Well, how they always have the screens pop up, and then like they'd be on the TV screen, like, "Oh, what's up?" You know movies I'm talking about, like Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Spaceballs had it. Like all kinds of other movies had it, and it brings like telecommunications to your TV that most people wouldn't go out there and buy the actual, like, they had Skype, um, cameras that you could buy for your TV. Like I have one for my TV and it didn't work right, and I chunked it. But
Mhm.
now they're actually incorporating it in the Xbox. Oh my God, Like that to me right there is like, oh, they're bringing Skype to Xbox, which was inevitable because they'll probably bring it to the 360 before it even debuts on the Xbox One. Um, but that's my takeaway. I mean, Ronev, Decryption, what you guys think?
Go ahead, chime in real quick. I like the Skype thing. Before I came on the stream and used Raid Call with you guys, I was a Skype person. I did everything Skype. Yeah, there's those little risks people talk about. I'm sure Microsoft has firewalls and to prevent all that, but like if you give it to the right people, you're not sharing too much info as long as you know the guy, and it's real reliable. But it's that whole TV, set box top, all that stuff that I'm just like, it's nice. Yeah, if someone was like, oh, here's the Xbox One, I'm not gonna turn it down. I'm not gonna go buy one. No. Even if I had the money, I still wouldn't. But I don't know. I can see how today's day and age is more of the, average Joe who just wants to come home, maybe play, a round or two of Call of Duty with his work buds, and then after that, relax with some hand gestures, enable his TV, or even just with voice. It's like, watch favorites. Let's just put a show out there like Breaking Bad, and then it just starts playing. No more twiddling with remotes. No more. Oh, okay. I want a DVD player. I gotta find a DVD remote, my DVR remote, my TV remote. Like now, it's all just running through one. It'll be a good media hub. It'll of course be a good gaming platform, but I think the community now is not as hardcore as like when Xbox 360 first came out. It was really gamer influenced. Now it's just more of the Xbox 360 can now pass more as like a casual home media hub, pretty much.
Just want to say one thing. I don't want it to seem like this. I do actually think that the Xbox One is a marvel of technology. It is an incredible piece of machinery. Like, I am extremely impressed by how quick it switches between like gaming to TV to Skype. It has the split screen. I love split screen. I hate the fact that TVs don't have split screen anymore. I love the fact that you can have the Skype running at the same time while you're gaming. You can grab the screen, shrink it down, search on the web really quickly, and then come back to your game like it's suspended. I love all of those features, and that the fact that the game system can do all those things. So I don't want it seeming like I don't like the system. The system is cool. It's just from a gamer standpoint, as a hardcore gamer standpoint, as Decryption said, it didn't wow me. It's just like, okay, it's cool. It didn't hype me enough that I would run out and wait in line like 4 days to get it. But it is a cool piece of machinery. Just that disappointed me. I expected to be like, oh my god, where's my one now?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, me again though, as you guys know, like I'm actually a pretty like casual computer person. Like, yeah, I use the internet and I play some games with you guys. I used Skype before, like Decryption said, but now after Facebook integrated their Skype calls there, if I'm gonna call someone, I'll use Facebook instead because I already have every contact I need in there. And I never actually liked console gaming. I had a Nintendo 64, and that if I'm ever getting a new console, I will get a new Nintendo 64.
Or the Wii? You wouldn't go Wii U?
No. Nintendo 64.
I would go Wii, but not Wii U.
What was wrong with the Wii U? I thought that was a pretty cool device. Like
It's cool and all, but I think it's just too. Look at me, I'm so special. Give me attention.
I just want to turn off my TV and use a little tablet while laying in bed.
Yeah.
It would be such a gimmick that I used like twice, and then I'll just play on my TV.
No.
I always thought that the Wii U was gonna be more of an add-on for the Wii. Like you have one guy playing like the game on Wii, and then you're on the Wii U like helping and making like changing the environment around him while he's playing. Like you're almost playing against him, like in Mario. I think they have a game like that if he's jumping and he won't reach it, you can put down a box so he can land on that and jump one more time or something like that.
There's a game like that, but I don't remember which one it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you thought the Wii U itself would be just that tablet. Like, this is the extra controller. The Wii U is
No,
this
no,
new
not
tablet
just a
controller.
controller. I knew you could play on it, but that it was more like an add-on. You couldn't like
Mhm.
take whatever game you wanted for Wii or whatever and take it with you and play it wherever you wanted.
Cool, cool. Real quick, just to go through, I mean, just to at least give it the nerd review, it is going to come with an 8-core processor, x86, um, giving you that ability to switch between games in a pretty much in an instant. HDMI pass-through, which basically means you can connect your cable box or satellite box to your Xbox. Loaded with memory, 8 gigabytes of random access memory, and a 500 gigabyte hard drive to give you plenty of memory for your games, demo, movies, apps, music, and more. Um, Blu-ray
Just to
support. Blu-ray support was major on this one, guys. It's coming with a Blu-ray player, even though that is proprietary to Sony. I believe Xbox, Microsoft finally was able to come to an agreement with Sony and get their hardware in their consoles. What's up, Kage?
I was gonna say, just to make sure everyone knows, because some of the Xboxes now have like almost 400 gigabyte hard drives, but remember, all one games have to be saved onto your hard drive. So every game you buy will have to be saved onto your hard drive. You don't need the disc anymore once you've installed it, which is actually pretty cool. But still, that 500 isn't as big as some people would imagine because of that simple fact that you have to save all your games.
Okay. Now, I know right now, like on the Xbox, you can download a game from the Xbox marketplace, and you know, and have that and play that directly, as well as if you run out of space, you can delete that game and come back and download it later if you needed to. So I think they're going to come out with expansions. I think there's going to be a 2 terabyte actually, from what I understand. There's a 2 terabyte upgrade to that later on down the road.
Hmm.
Yeah. Segue though. This is segue because we're keeping these nerdcasts a little bit shorter now, guys. Instead of going a full blown hour, maybe every once in a while we'll bust out into a longer podcast. However, um, we're gonna experiment a little bit here and there with a shorter version of the podcast, um, but with natural segue into the next actual article we wanted to touch base on, the actual Kinect camera. Um, the Kinect camera being pretty much one of the ultimate gaming peripherals for consoles today, outside of the PlayStation Eye, outside of Nintendo Wii U's gaming tablet device, handheld monstrosity that thing is. The Wii, I'm sorry, the Kinect camera. Um, how do I explain it? I mean, that's something that I'm going to end up buying for my computer just to have that, just to have that peripheral. But with caution, I mean, check out the Windows version is going to end up costing you about $250, which right now your regular Xbox 360 can be had at $99, so about $150 more. Uh, what else is there? Did y'all read this and see anything that you found kind of weird? I mean, it's not going to be a replacement for your mouse, and it's not going to really replace any of your 1080p webcams. Um, it's supposed to be used for like businesses and organizations, maybe like a mirror. Like if you're on a website for a clothing company and you have this Microsoft Connect, you can actually do the mirror app where you can try on virtual clothes to see how that outfit would look on you. That's the only thing that I can see that this would be good for the normal person. I mean, stuff like that, whatever else you can think of, maybe virtual use of a product. I'm not too sure.
Okay. As a note, remember this is the Kinect 2.0. It's not the Kinect 1.0. So you'll have all the different features. Like since the 2.0 has biometrics, theoretically, I mean it's probably never going to be used with this, and if it does, it's kind of scary. But the biometrics will allow it to actually see muscle, see heart rate, see like, hey, is my blood pressure normal? You probably could do that. Like have the Kinect right there, and you'd stand still, and it would check, and it would watch the blood pressure. And it's like, huh, it's a bit above average. It's like that could be something, but it's for a normal person, no. I mean, it's a peripheral that maybe gamers would want, like if you're playing a PC game like Skyrim, or if you're playing some of those virtual 3D games, maybe even like Second Life. You could imagine grabbing blocks and moving and flying and stuff like that. But it's average user, absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how this would work out for an average user. I mean, I have my ideas of what I want to use this for, but that's gonna be something a little bit for a different podcast when it actually debuts and when the actual product uses. And there's developers that develop programs with this. From what I understand, like one of the biggest things that the Kinect Windows for Kinect will do for the people that run iFinity setups or NVIDIA surround setups, where you say you play Battlefield 4 on three monster 27-inch screens, you're going to be in the game and you're going to be holding a virtual gun. You're just going to be holding your hands up in front of your three monitors, and you're going to be pretty much in the actual battlefield itself, like in the actual game itself, kind of doing the actions as what your player would be doing. You'd be doing them physically, and that's something I'd like to see happen.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to get into products that show just that right now. Gotta love those segue, guys. I mean, you gotta move into these little segues and have fun with these things, And when I talk about these segues and jumping into a different product, this is something that we just saw today that absolutely blew my mind. I'm mind blown.
Dude. I want one.
Yeah, are you mind blown, Ronev? I don't know. Are you mind blown?
Maybe,
Definitely I don't want to spoil it, but definitely the wrist one was the one that just,
that was cool.
For me, that's amazing.
The AR drone, I think we should let these people see it. What do you think?
Well, let's do the other one first. Let's leave the MYO for the second one.
Okay, so LeapMotion then. LeapMotion first? All right, LeapMotion. LeapMotion is coming out with a device that's going to be $80. $80. And when you see the video about what it can do and why this is going to be so great for $80, you'll probably want to pick one up. Gotta jam out. It's good music. Look at this. You guys, I don't know if you're all watching this video, but he's shooting with his gun, his hand right there.
Yeah.
With that LeapMotion. Flying with his hands. That's cool. Now.
It is a little silly with the. Look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let me ask you guys real quick. You see on the screen right here, you can pre-order it right now. That's the little device right there. What I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about was it showed an Apple monitor back there. Do you think it's going to be an Apple product? And by the way, I've never once seen that game coming out for Apple.
Its minimal requirements is Windows 7 or 8 or Mac OS X.
I see.
10.6 Snow Leopard.
Yeah, I see the Windows OS there. However, that painter thing was pretty cool. You can actually paint in midair. I mean, I think I'm going to be buying this for my little girl. She's really big into art, so that's actually something that I dig.
I imagine
Just
some
be careful
artists.
so she doesn't take the pen and just starts jamming the screen then.
She's pretty smart. I don't think she's going to end up doing that.
Well, you saw they did it with their fingers as well, so you could just finger paint and
Finger paint.
Yeah. Well, that's the LeapMotion, guys. Check them out, leapmotion.com. I'm probably going to put a link in the show notes below. As well, if you're on Stitcher or iTunes listening to this podcast, thank you very, very much for tuning in once again. The website for this LeapMotion thing, even though you couldn't see the video through the actual audio podcast, it was amazing. Basically, it's a little, maybe half the size of a bar of soap. It allows you to use your hands as maybe your mouse You can flip through web pages. You can basically like grab the page and throw it upwards to scroll down, grab the page and throw
Yeah,
it
spin
downwards
it
or scroll up.
around, and
Yeah.
manipulate it.
I mean, it's
It's like
basic.
the Minority Report.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Minority Report. It basically brings hand gesturing to your PC. So that's pretty amazing. That's something that wasn't expected to be found today, and we found it, and I kind of feel like I've been living under a rock because I didn't know about this. So Nerd Crew review, just based on the video alone, I give it a thumbs up.
Definite potential. Although I do wonder what they're using, because I wonder if you have to have it specifically like in front of you, and you have to be over that device, and it has to be right here, or like you have like what is the range there that you can have with your hand motion?
There is a radius around the whole device that you can use it.
Did you watch? Did you read that?
I didn't read it, but I
I'm
watched
just
it.
looking up at it here a little bit.
And
It's when she was drawing with the pen. It's actually the point of the pen actually has something to do with the fineness of what appears on the screen as well. So
Right.
Yeah.
I
if
imagine.
you just use your finger, you will get like thicker lines and stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, pretty much you're using it above your. Yeah, you'd be having your hand in front of that thing, like up top of it. I'm looking at some other pictures here.
That means you have to have it on top. I would like something that would give me more freedom, though. You know.
See, you can have it behind the keyboard and still use your hands over the keyboard.
It was a segue, sir.
MYO.
The
Coming
MYO?
next, MYO.
What is the MYO?
MYO, man, the MYO's ridiculous. That's just something that I'm really excited for. Back to this LeapMotion. They're really harping on the whole App Store, getting your apps through the App Store and using a Mac. But I know it's gonna be used for Windows. There's a port for it, but it looks like they developed this whole thing on using Apple computers, which is kind of a bummer since I'm using Windows products now. Windows 8 and whatnot, but I hope there's similar support on the other side because this looks amazing. This looks like something that would definitely benefit my children. So,
but I don't think it's going to be like the iTunes App Store. It's going to be a standalone App Store that would be available even for Windows users.
Yeah. What's funny is that the first picture, if you're on that page where it says leapmotion.com/apps, that's a Google Chrome store that they're showing you because that's exactly how the Google Chrome store is set up.
Yeah, but they're calling it the airspace, so I'm guessing it's their own thing. They're just copying the layout, maybe.
Oh, true. All right. The MYO was a little bit more impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I was definitely wowed, and for $150, gotta have it. I mean, this is something that every nerd has to have, and I apologize once again to our audio listeners that you're not going to be able to see this amazing video, but I will link it in the show notes so you can check it out when you get a chance, or maybe you can watch it from your smartphone by tapping on the link and seeing what we're talking about, because this is something that you really need to see. Anybody want to say anything before we jump into this pure awesome sauce?
Amazed. I'm just gonna say amazed.
If you think this MYO, and just think MYO and Rift.
Okay. So, time for awesome sauce. MYO. It is called the gesture controlled something or the other. Gesture control. Where's the video? Let's see the video. Watch the video. Here we go. And I hope YouTube doesn't ban this video, by the way.
Crossing our fingers.
Look at that immersive gameplay. That TV is amazing, by the way. Did you see that TV he was using? Flying the AR drone with just his hand. Muscle recognition. What? I want to become a cook because of that, by the way. Look at this. This is amazing right here. GetMyo.com. GetMyo.com. Now,
I'm trying to figure out where those goggles came from that he was using when he was snowboarding.
They show them in here. Where's it at? They actually show it on this page somewhere here, under Thermal Labs. Let's see, products. No, it doesn't show it there. Anyways, before we get into anything, Mayo. I mean, the actual finalized product looks different than what they were using, and I guess they're using, obviously the test devices. But this looks like something I could wear and keep on throughout the day. This would definitely make me want to integrate my house with all things Mayo. Like.
Yeah, cause what they say is you can use that MYO, and if someone makes an app or a program for it or what they're going to call it, you can integrate it to like anything, like your phone, if you have the Oculus Rift, your handhelds, like whatever you want, actually, that uses a controller or input.
The options of that, sir, like walking through your house, you don't even have to hit like a light switch, just like that, and the light can come on. Like,
if you have dimmer switches, it's just turning your hand a little bit to the left while you clench one of your fingers, and
the possibilities. Like, I would literally never take it off. Like, there's so many possibilities for that device that I would just love it.
I hope it's waterproof.
Yeah.
Good point.
Basically, guys,
just take a paper bag, a plastic bag over your hand, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. Basically, what's going on here? This is a muscle reader. It reads like the activity, the way your muscles move, or the electrical activity in your muscles to wirelessly control your computer, phone, and other favorite digital technologies. And yes, I read that directly from their website. But I want the people on the audio cast to actually hear what I'm talking about. Actually, what's funny, real quick tidbit of information: 1,700 people listened to our last podcast via between iTunes and Stitcher. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you guys. It's a lot bigger on the podcast than it is via YouTube yet. So hopefully we can get the YouTube side to jump and populate as the podcast side is.
Starting to get a bit of stage fright now.
Yeah.
Starting to bump.
The numbers are getting bigger.
Yeah, well, see, those numbers, the podcast audio numbers have always been pretty similar since we started. They went up about 300 people this past two. And I think it has a lot to do with the live stream and YouTube alone. Checking like, oh, we can watch this on, we can hear this on iTunes maybe. Cool. That's gonna wrap up the show. We talked about Xbox One. We talked about LeapMotion. We talked about Mayo. Future of everything is within our reach, and we're getting there. Very quickly. It's stuff that's popping up, today that, last year we would have never thought about. And this is something that it's amazing, and we're watching technology expand, and grow. I mean, could you imagine like what the I don't know if I could imagine what the possibilities are for that. I mean that Mayo, that thing is just that right there blows the LeapMotion and anything like Xbox related to me out the water.
For me, that blows the Kinect 2.0 out of the water.
Yeah.
I would rather have a Mayo, or sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I'd rather have that than a LeapMotion or even a Kinect 2.0.
Yeah.
Because the Kinect 2.0, you have to see your whole face. Well, this, just with your muscles. Like, your muscles will never fail unless. Only thing I can say is like someone who's like paralyzed or has like bad tendons in their hands, their arthritis or something. But this is gonna be more of the more nerdy, I think.
There could be a use for it there as well. Like, if they have it on their arm that they're training up again.
That
you
too.
can get like graphs and stuff, and you can see like how much they actually like.
How well
their
muscles.
Yeah,
how well their muscles are developing.
And that will help. That will encourage them even more because they can see that they're getting better and stuff. So.
Cool.
You can find uses for anything.
Yeah. Just
Well-
a quick, it was one quick thing. A quick jump back. I think it was like 2 podcasts ago where we were talking about like where the next step of gaming is going. I said it's not about the console. We've already seen the console. Big whoop, better graphics, okay. But I said it's gonna be the accessories, the peripherals, and the the outputs. Xbox 360, 4K displays supported. I'm guessing soon. MYO, pretty sure there's gonna be some sort of Xbox port maybe, or like Kinect 2.0. That's brand new. It's amazing. The console itself was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. The gaming itself was fine. The extras for it, all these extras we're seeing for the PCs and the Rift, all these wireless devices we're seeing, those are stepping up the game of gaming. That's what I'm excited about, of where that in the future is going to be. Graphics aren't going to get much better than they are. Maybe that next ultra step, but that's going to be a while from now because we still have to wait for the displays to be able to show that. Most people game on 1920 by 1080, TV HD resolution, 1080p. I mean, that can only do so much, on a gaming front. So we'll have to see where our peripherals go first, and that's what's getting me really excited about the future.
Yeah. On that note, guys, thank you for tuning in once again. This is Mav.
Okay.
Description.
Rowena.
Nerd Crew, NERDcast episode 28. You guys have a wonderful day.
I guess.
Bye bye.
Buenas noches.